Hi, good morning. Here we are discussing about the poem Home Burial by Robert Frost. Its subtitle is An Analysis of Grief, Communication, and Emotional Conflict. First of all, we can look about poet Robert Frost, born in 1874 and died in 1963. He is an American poet known for realistic depictions of rural life. Four-time Pulitzer Prize winner. He is four-time Pulitzer winner. He is famous for The Road Not Taken, Stopping by Woods, Mending Wall, and Home Burial. Then coming to the poem Home Burial, published in 1914. Collection North of Boston. What genre? Dramatic dialogue or narrative poem written in blank verse. Focus on couple grieving the loss of their child. We can go to the summary. What is the summary of home burial? Home burial. Burial means uh, something bury under the mud because that their child is died. His wife mourns openly. The husband stays emotionally distant. They became distant apart because of their that's child's death. She feels unheard and misunderstood. The husband tries to explain his silence as strength. When whatever husband doing is, the wife got misunderstood. Then their emotional disconnect builds tension, ends with unresolved grief and the threat of separation. Here, which are the characters that are seen in the poem? Wife, emotional, expressive, want her grief acknowledged. She wants her grief acknowledged. Then another is husband, is style, silent, stoic, believes in quiet endurance. He also have the sadness and that feeling, but he is quiet and keeps silent. Conflict arises from different ways of grieving. What are the themes? Grief and mourning, communication breakdown, gender and emotion, emotional isolation, domestic conflict. She finds in she finds everything is misunderstanding. Then we can go to the poetic devices. Blank verse. The poem is written in blank verse. Blank verse means unrhymed, iambic, pentameter, natural, conversational tone, imagery. Gravestones in the moonlight builds a somber mood. Symbolism, staircase, grave, window, emotional distance and perspective. Then enjambment, we can see enjambment flows like real speech reflects emotional tension. Then important lines we can check. Let's check the important lines. Can't a man speak of his own child he is lost? Husband's frustration at being judged. You can't because you don't know how to speak. Wife's accusation of emotional failure. If you do, she was mean to go. Husband's resignation of defense mechanism. Here we can go to this is the poem. Then let's go to the points that are discussed in the poem. Poet is Robert Frost. Year 1940. Type of poem, dramatic dialogue. Main theme, grief. Wife's emotion, sorrow. Husband's approach, silence. Blank was warm. Collection, north of Boston. Then let me give you some of questions. What natural event symbolizes the emotional gap between the couple? The almost events in the poems are happening at the staircase. Uh, he is husband is one side and wife is another side. Staircase is symbolizes the emotional gap between the couple. What does the wife see outside the window at the start? She is looking at the outside of the window. She is looking to the graveyard. Where is his her son is buried. What poetic technique is used to mimic natural speech? Enjambment. Enjambment means I will explain another class because it will only understand with examples. One line next moving the lines to the next line without completing. That's the enjambment. What does the wife accuse the husband of lacking? Wife accuses the husband of lacking his emotion. She accuses him. You don't have emotion. You don't have sorrow. You don't know. You don't feel sad. What does the wife want the husband to understand her grief? She wants to understand her grief. Which object is symbolic of the wife's viewpoint? Window. In wife's viewpoint, window is symbolic. What does the grave represent in the poem? Grave represents loss. The wife's tone in the poem is mostly bitter and anguished. The husband's tone is mostly defensive and calm. The setting of the poem is primarily at home. Thank you. That's all.